Hey students, I want to discuss a few questions based on the definite integrals. So try to participate. They are very good questions. So try to participate in the discussion. The first question is like this: if f is a continuous function and f of x plus f of x plus 6 is equals to f of x plus 3 plus f of x plus 9, then he is asking integral x to x plus 12 f dash of t dt is asking. So first of all, I hope so everyone know f of x plus t is equal to f of x. Then the least positive real number t is called fundamental period of the function, right? So that idea you know. Now observe here, one of the method I want to discuss. Let us say this is, we can call it as a method 1. Now there what I am doing is, wherever x is there, in place of x I am writing x plus 3. In place of x I am writing x plus 3. Tell me what happens. F of x plus 3 plus f of x plus 9 is equals to f of x plus 6 plus f of x plus 12. X is replaced with x plus 3, then we got this one. Now add both. If you add both the equations, what happens? F of x plus 9 cancelled, f of x plus c cancelled. Now we are getting the information f of x plus 3 also cancelled. Then we are getting the information f of x is the same as f of x plus 12. That information we got, right? But in the question what he is asking, integral x to x plus 12 f dash of t dt is asking. Differentiation, integration cancel. That means we are getting f of t with the limits are from x to x plus 12. Now apply upper limit minus lower limit. If you apply the upper limit, you will get f of x plus 12 minus lower limit f of x. So just now we got the information f of x plus 12 is the same as f of x. That's why both are equal. So you will get the answer as 0. The same question we can discuss in another way. So this is the second method. I am discussing the same question. Now f of x. Next one we are writing it as e power 6 into f of x. Whenever f of x plus 6 is there, that will come in higher level mathematics. So just try to remember this one as a technique. So this we can write it as e power 6 into f of x, where e is called an operator. Okay. So e power 6 into f of x. The next one is, come on, e cube into f of x. And again we can write e to the power of 9 into f of x. Now what happens is total. So here we can take it as f of x common. If you take f of x common, you will get 1 plus e to the power of 6. Here also if you take e to the power of 3 common, right? E to the power of 3 into f of x we are taking common. Then what we will get? 1 plus e to the power of 6 you will get. So both sides 1 plus e to the power of 6 we can cancel. Then we are getting f of x plus 3. Yes or no? E power 3 of f of x. That means operator f of x is equals to f of x we got. That means f of x plus 3 is equal to f of x we got. Now x is replaced with the x plus 3. Then you will get f of x plus 6 is equals to f of x plus 3 we got. In place of x plus 3, f of x plus 3, what we can write? F of x. So this we can write it as f of x, right? Now again x is replaced with x plus 6. X is replaced with x plus 6. Then what happens? F of x plus 12. X is replacing with x plus 6. Then we can write f of x plus 6. Now just now we got the information f of x plus 6 is equal to f of x. So that's why the same information we got, f of x plus 12 is equal to f of x. Or otherwise, after getting this step, f of x plus t is equal to f of x we got. We can say the function is a periodic function with a period 3. If 3 is the period, 2 into 3 is also period, 3 into 3 is also period, 4 into 3 is also the period. That's why directly we can write f of x plus 12 is equal to f of x, because as we discussed earlier, if t is the period of the function, then nt is also the period of that function. That's why f of x plus nt, you will also get f of x only. That's why here we got the information 3 is the period of the function, right? So that's why f of x plus 12 we can write it as f of x. That is the reason this integral is nothing but this one is becoming 0. So this is, in this particular case, method 1 is more comfortable, but method 2 involves a different idea. I used the operator idea. That idea is very important idea for objective exams, where we can find out the period of the function so easily. Okay. So this is another question. A function f of x plus f of y is equal to f of x plus f of y for all x comma y belongs to R, and f of 0 is given as 1. I1 is given as integral 0 to 1 f of x dx. I2 is given as integral 0 to 4 f of x dx. Then he is asking I1 by I2. Now you can observe here, I am putting y is equals to 0, because you know the value of f of 0. That's why if you put y is equal to 0, what happens? F of x plus 1. Because we will get y is equal to 0, f of 0 is given as 1. F of x plus 1 is equals to f of x. That's enough. That is the information required. F of x plus 1 is equals to f of x we got. So what is the meaning for this? It is a periodic function with period 1. This is a periodic function with period 1. Whenever it is a periodic function with period t, we can write integral 0 to nt f of x dx. We can write n times integral 0 to t f of x dx. That is information. Now we can write this one as 4 times integral 0 to 1 f of x dx we can write. But now this is nothing but I1. Yes or no? That is I1. So we got the information I2 is equals to 4 times I1. Because we got the information f of x is a periodic function with period 1. That's why this is 4 into 1. 0 to nt. We can write n times 0 to t. So I2 is equal to 4 times I1. That's why we are getting I1 by I2 value is equals to 1 by 4. Right? Let's have another question discussion. F of x is equals to minimum of these three functions. One function is 2 sin x, the other one is 1 minus cos x, the other one is 1. F of x is equals to 1. You know how to draw a straight line parallel to x axis. This is the line y is equals to 1. Next we have to draw the graph of y is equal to 2 sin x. Same, draw the graph of sin x along y-axis. Whatever values are there along y-axis, multiply with 2. That's why y is equals to 2 sin x. Maximum value you will get 2. So this is the graph of y is equal to sin x graph, which takes maximum value 2 when x is equal to pi by 2. At the same time, when x is equal to 0, you will get 0. When x is equals to pi also, you will get 0. This is the graph of y is equal to 2 sin x. Next we have to draw the graph of y is equal to 1 minus cos x. You can observe when x is equal to 0, you will get 0. When x is equals to pi by 2, you will get 1. You will get 1 when x is equals to pi by 2. And at the same time, when x is equals to pi, you will get its maximum value 2, because cos pi is equal to minus 1. So I drawn the graph of y is equal to 1 straight line, y is equal to 2 sin x graph, and at the same time this is the graph of y is equal to 1 minus cos x. It is looking like as a straight line, but it is not a straight line. This is the graph of y is equal to 1 minus cos x. What is asking in the question? Minimum of these three functions. Once observe the graphs in the interval 0 to pi by 2. Observe the three graphs. In between 0 to pi by 2, which has a minimum value between 0 to pi by 2. You can observe first graph, second graph, third graph. Between 0 to pi by 2, this has the minimum value. This portion has the minimum. This particular portion has the minimum. That is nothing but y is equal to 1 minus cos x graph. That's why we have to write the required answer is equals to, the required value is equals to integral 0 to pi by 2. Minimum among these two is 1 minus cos x dx. Next you can observe from pi by 2 to 5 pi by 6. Observe from 5 pi by 2 to 5 pi by 6. This is the line y is equals to 1. This is the line y is equals to 1. Yes or no? This is the line y is equals to 1, and this is y is equal to 1 minus cos x graph, and this is y is equal to 2 sin x graph. This has the minimum. That's why again from pi by 2 to 5 pi by 6, in this portion we have to write the line y is equals to 1. Again you can observe this is the graph of y is equal to 1 minus cos x, y is equals to 1 and y is equals to 2 sin x. That means between 5 pi by 6 to pi, in this portion 2 sin x has the minimum value among the three given functions. 2 sin x has the minimum value among the three given functions. That's why again from 5 pi by 6 to pi, the minimum among these three functions is 2 times sin x. So now you know the integration of these functions and apply the limits, you will get the answer. Okay. Let's have another important question, important model. You can see f of x is equal to x plus integral 0 to 1 x plus t into f of t dt. Then he is asking integral 0 to 7 f of x dx. Observe here, I am finding f of x is equals to x plus integral 0 to 1 x into f of t dt plus integral 0 to 1 t into f of t dt. F of t multiplied inside, integration also operates separately. Again f of x is equals to x plus x into integral 0 to 1 f of t dt, right? Again here plus integral 0 to 1 t into f of t dt. That is the information we have. Now because it is x, integration depends on t. That's why x is a constant, we can write outside. Now you can observe this particular integral is definitely, it is a definite integral. Definite integral means you will get a value or not, it is a constant or not. I am saying that constant is equals to a. Here also it is also a definite integral. This value also you will get a constant. Let us say that is equals to b. So finally we got f of x is equals to x plus a into x plus b. I am taking this one as a and this one as b. Now I am finding the value of a. This is the information we got about f of x. F of x is equals to, we got the information x plus ax plus b. Now observe here, what if we have taken a is equals to, a is equals to, we have taken integral 0 to 1 f of t dt. Agree or not? Now that I can write it as integral 0 to 1. Array f of x means this one. Can you tell me what is f of t? F of t is equals to t plus at plus b. We have to dt. Now its integration you know how to do. Its integration, right? This integration is equals to t square by 2 plus a into t square by 2 plus bt with limits from 0 to 1. Okay, so this integration t square by 2 plus a into t square by 2 plus b. Now we are getting the value of a is equals to, what about this simplification? 1 by 2 plus a by 2 plus b. In place of t I substituted upper limit minus lower limit, obviously it becomes 0. Now we can write further this one as a by 2 is equals to 1 plus 2b by 2. Therefore we got the information a minus 2b is equals to 1. That is the first equation we got. In the similar way we can write what is b? b is equals to integral 0 to 1 t into f of t. F of t means what we can write? T plus at plus b. Right? So that we can write further as, after integration I am writing t square integration is t cube by 3 plus again a t square integration is a into t cube by 3. Right? Next multiply with the t, it becomes b t square by 2, b t square divided by 2 with the limits are from 0 to 1. Right? Now apply the limits, you will get b is equals to 1 by 3 plus a by 3 plus b by 2. Now here simplification you will get b by 2 is equals to a plus 1 divided by 3. That's why we are getting 2a plus 2 is equal to 3b. So this is one equation in terms of a and b. This is second equation in terms of a and b. If you solve those two equations, you will get the value of a and b or not. So here 2a value substitute there, you will get the value of a is equal to minus 7 and the value of b is equal to minus 4. Solve these two equations, we will get the value of a is equal to minus 7 and the value of b is equal to minus 4. Array, we got the value of a and we got the value of b. Then what about the function? Then we can write f of x is equals to minus 7x plus x. So it becomes minus 6x minus 4. Now we got the function. So whatever he is asking we can find out or not. He is asking integral 0 to 7 f of x dx. F of x is equal to minus 6x minus 4. Yes, that is the way to approach. Very important model. Okay. So let's see another question based on inverse of a function. F is a function from closed interval 1 comma 5 to closed interval 2 comma 10 is a strictly increasing function. Say this is a strictly increasing function, or you can take like this also. Both are the graphs of strictly increasing function only in the interval 1 to 5. Here also in the interval 1 to 5 it is a strictly increasing function. A range is given as minimum value 2, maximum value 10 in that interval given. That's why, so 1 corresponds to 2, 5 corresponds to 10. That's why this particular point is 5 comma 10 and this particular point is 1 comma 2. The function is given strictly increasing function. So that's why we got the information f of 1 we can take it as 2, f of 1 we can take it as 2 and f of 5 we can take it as 10. F of 5 is equals to 10. So from this I can write 1 is equals to f inverse of 2. At the same time 5 is equals to, we can write f inverse of 10 we can write. Okay, so we want to find out this particular integral. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am taking f inverse of x is equals to some t. I am not disturbing this one. F inverse of x is equals to some t. Then what happens? F inverse of x, we are taking the substitution as a t. Then automatically x is equals to f of t. Whenever x is equal to f of t, we have to write dx is equals to f dash of t dt. Right? But whenever we are taking the substitution, we have to change the limits also. So now observe here, when x is equals to lower limit, when x is equals to 2, when x is equals to 2, f inverse of 2 is equal to 1. That's why we will get t is equals to 1. Next, upper limit is x is equals to 10. When x is equals to 10, f inverse of 10 is equals to 5. So you will get t is equals to 5. So that's why 2 to 10 changes as 1 to 5. Because of these modifications, how the second integral changes, as I told to you, I am not at all going to disturb the first integral. 1 to 5 f of x dx, keeping it as it is, plus now 2 to 10 changes as 1 to 5. In place of f inverse of x we have to write t, and in place of dx we have to write f dash of t dt. Right? Now this we can write it as integral 1 to 5 f of t dt. I hope so everyone followed. Because why I converted in terms of t? Because in my mind I have an impression, next step somewhere I am going to get 1 to 5 f of t dt. You know definite integral is independent of change of variable. That's why x dx I written as a t dt. Okay, now I am disturbing this one. So this is the first function and this is the second function. Apply by parts. First function into integration of second function. F dash of t integration is f of t. There we have to apply the limits from 1 to 5 minus integration of limits from 1 to 5, differentiation of first function, integration of second function. For the whole integration we have to do. Then the problem is over. Yes or no? The problem completed. Because this is 1 to 5 f of t dt. Here also 1 to 5 f of t dt. Both cancelled. So we got the answer as 5 into f of 5 minus 1 into f of 1. That is equals to 5 into, tell me what is f of 5 value? F of 5 value is equals to 10. That's why 5 into 10 minus 1 into f of 1 value is equals to 2. So then we got 50 minus 2 is equals to 48 is the answer. So this particular question directly we can say the answer. Observe here. Whenever this is the function f of x and this is f inverse of x. Function its inverse and the function must be an increasing function. Function must be an increasing function. Then we can write directly the answer as upper limits multiplication 50 minus lower limit multiplication 2. That's why we will get the answer directly as 48. When the function is an increasing function and here f given, here f inverse given, so we can write directly the answer as upper limits multiplication minus lower limits multiplication is the direct answer. Right? See another question here. F of x is equal to x plus sin x. G is the inverse of f. Then he is asking integral 0 to pi g of x dx. Now you can observe here, I can write this one as integral 0 to pi x, that is 0 to pi f of x dx, plus integral 0 to pi g of x dx is equals to, directly we can write the answer as pi square, just like the earlier discussion. This is f and this is f inverse. This is f and this is f inverse. You can say if you substitute the lower limit it becomes 0. If you substitute the upper limit it becomes pi. That's why f of 0 is 0 only, f of pi is pi only. So this is the discussion we did. Integral a to b f of x dx plus integral f of a to f of b f inverse of x dx. Then we got the answer as b into f of b minus a into f of a. Under the condition the function is strictly increasing function. Yes, you can observe it is a strictly increasing function. Its differentiation is 1, sin x differentiation is cos x. 1 plus cos x, 1 plus cos x value is always positive. That's why f dash of x greater than 0 means the function is an increasing function. So it is a strictly increasing function. That information we have. Now that's the reason upper limits multiplication minus lower limits multiplication, I written the answer. So we got integral 0 to pi g of x dx is equals to pi square minus integral 0 to pi, you know f of x. F of x is already given the function as x plus sin x dx. Now that is equals to pi square minus, you know this integration and you can apply the limits or not. So that is the way to proceed that particular problem. Directly we are getting the answer with the help of this particular statement. The same question we can do it another way also. To do that another method, definitely you must have an idea about one function is f of x, because we have completed the area concept also. With the help of the area concept also we can do a particular question. You know, this is the graph of f of x in the interval 0 to pi. When x is equal to 0 it becomes 0. When x is equals to pi we are getting pi. So this is a pi. And you must have an information the graph of f of x and f inverse of x, how they are. F graph and f inverse x graph. F graph and f inverse x graph you can check. One is the mirror image of other with respect to the line y is equal to x. You know, this is the graph of f inverse of x. The graph of f of x and f inverse of x are mirror images to each other with respect to the line y is equals to x. This is the line y is equals to x. The upper portion is the graph of y is equal to f of x, and this is the line y is equals to x, and the lower portion is the graph of y is equal to g of x. That's what here f inverse of x. Now in the question is asking integral 0 to pi, integral 0 to pi, integral 0 to pi g of x dx is asking. Pay attention here. Integral 0 to pi g of x dx is asking 0 to pi g of x dx. That means we have to find out the area of the shaded portion. The shaded portion area we have to find out. This region area we have to find out. Right? So let us say this portion area is equal to A1. No doubt this is also A1 and this becomes A2. I am considering this shaded portion as A2. We require the area of A2. So now you know A2 is nothing but integral 0 to pi. A2 is nothing but integral 0 to pi g of x dx. Whatever he is asking, that was we have to find out in the question. But we know that A1 plus A1 plus A2 is equals to this portion A1, this portion is A1 and this portion is A2. This total area is equals to integral 0 to pi f of x dx. Agree or not? Integral 0 to pi f of x dx. But we required A2 is equals to integral 0 to pi f of x dx minus 2 times A1. Can anyone say what is A1? Or A1 area means this area I am going to find out. This shaded portion, the portion which I am shading now, this area is required. This is A1. Can anyone say what about this A1 area? A1 is the area bounded between two curves. That's why this A1 area is equal to, this A1 area is equals to, x values are changing from 0 to pi, upper curve minus lower curve. What is the lower curve? Lower curve is the line y is equal to x. That's why integral 0 to pi, upper curve is x plus sin x minus lower curve is the line y is equal to x. So here you know f of x is equal to x plus sin x. Here x cancel, you will get sin x. This integration you can find out, you will get the same answer. So earlier method is without using the area concept, and the present method which I discussed with the help of the area concept. Both are very good methods. Okay. The first method we can do so easily if you know that particular information. B into f of b minus a into f of a. Okay. Bye.